This movie shows you exactly why family members should not work together. Or at least crazy family members shouldn't work with other family members. Welcome to Film Table. My name is CJ. I will be your host. Go ahead and pull up a chair because this is my review for Red Sparrow. Starring Jennifer Lawrence and Joel Edgerton, and the movie is directed by Francis Lawrence as well. So Jennifer Lawrence and Francis Lawrence are kind of teaming back up together for a very brutal movie. I thought Red Sparrow was going to be an action thriller. It kind of turned out to be a political thriller and some espionage as well, which is okay if the movie is done well. Red Sparrow had a lot of conflicting tones with it, and it kind of would just lose you throughout the movie. The movie is about a Russian ballerina who is recruited by her government to go to this school where she can train to become what they call a sparrow. People who use their bodies to gain information from other countries' operatives. It has a lot of fascinating elements to it and a lot of potential as well. Because as we've seen done, you can do so much with an espionage movie, and there's so much territory that you can cover. Territory that hasn't even been covered in past movies before. That's how open that genre is. And while a lot of new things are done here, I just feel like they don't put forth a product that is really worth our time. It's 2.5 hours long, which is incredibly long for this movie. I can think of one piece in the middle that could have been taken out. It involved a lot of tension, so I understand why it's there, but it just takes so long. And the other thing is the tone. The movie is brutal and gory, and it uses the sexual nature in order to gain momentum, which is okay because that's not celebrated. It's not shown that you should use your body in order to gain information. In fact, it's shown that that type of life is not something worth living. That everybody who is forced to live this life doesn't want to live it. But then throughout the movie, you can't exactly tell which side Jennifer Lawrence is on. Working with the Russians would mean that she is for that idea. Working against the Russians would mean that she's not for that idea. And you can't tell throughout the movie which side she's on, which can be a little hard to follow. And while at the end everything makes sense, it's hard to jump on board with her character because of it. So throughout the entire movie, you're not sure if you're actually rooting for her or rooting against her, which can make the movie hard to follow. A lot of the sexual nature and the brutality throughout the movie creates a lot of awkward scenes in it. You're watching and you understand what's going on, you understand the character's motivations, but it'll make a lot of people cringe and want to look away from the screen because it's brutal. It's not something that you want to watch. But at the same time, the story is intriguing enough that you do want to stay till the end, even if it takes a while to get there. Now, this movie is actually based on a book written by an ex-CIA operative. So often while you're watching it, you don't feel like you're watching a Hollywood blockbuster. It's definitely a movie, but it's not a Hollywood blockbuster. A lot of the espionage scenes are thrilling to watch, and they do feel realistic. But at the same time, I do feel like they made the US government out to be these heroes that treats everybody so well, and the Russian government out to be these terrible people who don't help anybody ever. And while I totally get that, I always love when espionage movies show some evil acts on the good guy's side, or at least the side that you want to root for. Because in this field of work, nobody can be the good guy. We all know that, and that's why we see that in movies and TV shows these days. Because you gotta understand that it's a war, so not everybody can make the best decision. With all of that said, the movie does do some things right. It is brutal, so you do have that realism to it. There are some scenes that will grab you and pull you into the movie, make you interested in what's actually happening. But I also just feel like it could have been a lot better. There was so much potential. I feel like there's not too much to say about Red Sparrow. It could have done a lot more within a shorter running time, which I would have loved to see. But at the same time, it does offer some good things. There are some great performances, especially from Jennifer Lawrence. There are some good thrilling scenes in there, which I liked a lot. I just would have liked to be on the edge of my seat a little bit more for this movie. In the end, I'm going to go ahead and give Red Sparrow a 2.5, just because I believe that there is so much more that they could have done with it. It's a movie that I'll probably never care to watch again. I'll never own it, and if somebody even offered to put it on for a movie night at a friend's house, I wouldn't be that excited, just because it's not a movie that I need to see again in any way. So thank you so much for stopping by, watching the review, and grabbing a plate. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did like it, go ahead and check out our website, filmtable.com, for some more awesome content. Also follow us on social media at FilmTable. And like always, I will see you next time.